Oh, I turned the camera off. I didn't want you guys to see me where I store this bad boy. The secret weapon. So I got sent the new Razer stick. So if you guys don't know, the Panthera is my favorite stick. So they sent me the Panthera EVO, which is like a modified version of the Panthera. It's different in a number of ways. One of the ways is you see the wrist rest down here is slanted. I think it's like pretty clear that there's like an indentation here and it's slanted now. So it's not even, right? Maybe this angle will give you guys a better idea. Not even with the top part of the stick, right? Yeah, it's also blue. They have different colors and stuff like that. As you can see on the top, you guys will see a little reflection, but there's a PlayStation button, there's a touchpad, L3, R3. They have the lock for the, whatever it's called right here, for the home buttons, this little thing, and then they have audio options. If you plug in a pair of headphones, you want to turn things up, right? You can hold this button down and then use the joystick to turn things up or down. And there's mute for your microphone as well if you plug it in. That's pretty cool features for a stick. Not something that I use because I play on PC, so I'm always in like Discord or whatever, so I don't need it. The layout is the same as the Panthera, essentially, right? Just like standard Sonwell buttons. Start and select on the side, which I really like. I also like this style of control panel way more than like the Obsidian, which is like the fucking Star Trek Enterprise. They got like 50 little buttons on there, and it's so hard to figure out where the fuck they are. You know what I mean? So that's what's annoying to me. Now you can route the audio wherever you want, Final Trinity. You just have to set that up first. As far as like main differences between the Panthera, because I think when you look at this, it seems pretty similar in a lot of ways, right? Art similar, the layout, the touchpad, all that stuff, it seems similar. One thing is that it's very light. It's lighter than the Panthera, right? Lighter than the Panthera. They have different buttons in here. They have like a Razer mechanical button instead of Sanwa, if I believe correctly. And they seem fine to me. They're like mechanical switch buttons instead. And I didn't notice, to be honest, a difference, really. You know what I mean? I used it a bunch, and it didn't feel to me like, wow, I can tell the difference between these Razer buttons and Sanwa buttons. Like, they just felt like good buttons to me, which is a good sign, right? Because usually when I play on like Hori buttons, I notice the difference, even though I like the Hori Fighting Edge buttons, but I don't notice the difference on these, which is probably a good thing because I just assumed they were Sanwa until I found something else. As far as like main differences, the top, this little portion here, this flap is a spring-loaded flap where they keep the cable. Unlike the Panthera, there's not a screw-off cable, right? So you don't screw it off and detach it and put it inside. You pop the trunk on the stick and then you put it inside, right? It's not like that. It's you open it up here and then the cable comes out. There's a little compartment here where you store the cable. See? Now, I do not like stored cables like this because in my experiences, these compartments always come off. Right? In my experiences. I don't know to how long this one will last. This one has lasted longer than every flap on every arcade stick I've ever had. Because they break immediately. The fucking flaps always break. This one seems a little bit better. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But this one seems better so far. It's lighter than the Panthera, which if you don't like light sticks, you might not like this one. It sits pretty comfortably in the lap. I think it's a good stick. I like the Panthera more because of the detachable cable. I like the heaviness of the Panthera more, even though I've said before I don't like heavy sticks very much. I think the weight is nicer to me. If you like lighter sticks, I think that you might like these. Have I used Gamer Finger? I've probably played on them before, but I didn't play on one for a long time. Right? As far as like changing the artwork and stuff, that's still pretty easy to do on this stick. In fact, changing the artwork is a big thing that they advertise as being easy on this stick. It's pretty similar to the Panthera. I think that I like the Panthera more. It feels more stable and sturdy in my lap because it's heavier. But everything else about the stick is basically the same in terms of layout and everything. I think it's a cool stick. If you don't have a Razer stick and you don't like the Panthera for some reason, you might not like this one, particularly if you like mechanical buttons or whatever. But I don't know. It's all right. nothing. It's not a crazy stick. Nothing too crazy about this one. That's like the Victrix stick. We had so much to talk about, right? There's all these different crazy features and stuff. But I've already talked about how much I like the Panthera, so it's very similar. Anyway, they sent me this stick. They didn't ask me to do anything with it. They didn't ask me to review it or show it off or anything. But I mean, they sent it to me, so I figured I'd talk about it. The Panthera is still my favorite stick. I like it more than this one. I like it more than any other fight stick I've used. The only fight stick that I haven't used that I think I might like as much or more is maybe the Fighting Edge. I've used it and I enjoy it. I just don't own one. So I'm thinking about getting one and trying it to see if I end up liking it more than the Razer stick. But currently the Razer stick's my favorite. I like the TE2 Plus and I like the TES. I think they're both great sticks. You can't go wrong. Hold up. Let me put this bad boy away.